What's up?
Ceilings.
It's a non-laborious day.
Yeah. It's a busy day for me.
It's Labor Day. It is. You got to, it's a green day for you.
It's a green day for me. We're going to go smash some pumpkins.
I forgot they're part of that. I just keep thinking about Rancid. Are the Linda's playing?
Yeah.
I'm going to get there. You missed them. You said before.
I did, so
you have to go see. That's right. You've seen this whole thing.
I've seen this I've seen 3/4 of it.
Oh, that's right.
And today I will not miss it because I control my own fate, and it's also not Chicago.
Yeah.
So traffic, and I know where I'm going to park already.
Right.
I'm going to park by the Wendy's.
And walk over?
Yeah, and walk over.
Nice.
So it'll be a good time. So when we were at the show in Chicago, by the way, this is like weeks after.
Speaking of at the show, that is the name of the MXPX live album.
Oh.
That is not available on Spotify.
Okay.
It makes me mad. Cool.
So when when we were in the Chicago show, we noticed that Billy Joe has a thing that he does.
Okay.
Right? Like every singer
like
kind of has
kind of thing.
Not a tick, but a thing he does to like rile up the crowd.
Oh, okay.
Right? Or to interact with the audience.
Sure.
And he goes, "Ayo," all the time.
Okay. Is he trying to be Freddie Mercury that one time?
Maybe that's where he got it. But so, and
I got like the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember him doing it at Woodstock.
Okay.
Like, have you seen them when they're like
99?
No, 94.
Oh, okay.
Woodstock 94. They're playing and they're like in a breakdown middle part of some song.
Sure.
Off Dookie.
Dookie.
Dookie. Anyways, so off of that record, call back. And he's like throwing stuff, but he goes, "Ayo," and then they call back, "Ayo," and then he goes, "Ayo," and then he starts doing something, but it only did it the once. But now he's like, kids react to this. I'll do it. So we're making this joke that's like, man, and you're gonna go see him again, to me, and be like, you should count, or like it should be a drinking game. I'm not going to be drinking.
Yeah. You don't want a $16 Miller Lite?
No, I don't. Man, that's too expensive.
It is.
It's way too expensive.
Yeah. But it's the big one.
16. It's the big one.
It's the big one. $16 for like a
$1
32 ounce. No, it
is.
Yeah, it's something like that. Or maybe 24.
Okay.
It's a big old can of Miller Lite if that's what you prefer.
An ounce.
Sure.
So that's what's going on tonight.
Yeah.
But what happened on Friday? And by the way, this weekend could have been amazing.
Yeah.
For shows.
We're recording this on Labor Day.
Hence why it's laborious or
non-laborious.
Yeah.
Thank you, Union.
Yes. So on Friday, I saw Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah. How was that?
Good. So the first thing is I'm walking in, and then get my ticket out. But then I look over. There's like 3 lines. It's the out. Have you ever been to the Southside stage?
So to explain.
It's just the parking lot.
That's what I thought.
So there's a stage outside.
So what do they do?
XL
Do they build a stage, or there is a stage there already?
There's a stage there already. They put in the sound booth. They run a cable across the parking lot. They block.
But it's like where we would normally park.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
That is
it.
The venue,
so the north side of the bridge, like the venue stops at the bridge, and then it goes until the patio. So the first thing, I'm walking in, and then I look over, and there's this girl like doing tickets. She's like, just looking for people, and I'm like, I know her. I taught her. So former student, waved to her, and she's like, "Oh, hi." And then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to go like, I hate bugging people at work because I hated that when I was working. I hated when my friends were there or people I knew, because I'd be like, I can't talk to you. I need to go do this other thing. So that's thing one. And then thing two is like, I have another former student. These are like, they're all like in their mid-20s now. Who is going to, I assumed would be there because they're a fan. So I was like, "Hey, are you coming?" He's like, "No, I'm yes, I am. You did not talk to me about it, but I am here." So I hung out with him for a little bit, said hi, met his girlfriend, met his friends, and then realizes like I'm here. But I don't know if he felt that he needed to like
hang with you,
me. And it's like, no, go do your own thing. I didn't say these things, but like, I wasn't going to go hang with them.
Right.
And if they wanted to chill where I am or go anywhere, it's like, I'm whatever. I'm here by myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't plan, but I just want to say hi. So that was it. Just be like, hi, you can go wherever you want. Be in the pit, wherever you want. And then later on in the show, I was like, in between bands, I was like checking Facebook, and I was like, I got a message, and it was Adrian being like, I saw you.
Yeah, I was gonna say her and Mark were there.
Yeah. And I'm like, where? Because I thought I saw her, but I'm like, I don't know if that's her or not.
And you probably don't know her husband.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
So she's in the VIP. Let's sit down, because she's like, I'm old.
Yeah.
Like, so am I. I'm in the back by the soundboard.
Yeah.
Which you'd think, no one's gonna bump into me. Not true.
Dude, have you been to what's the venue in Jersey?
No. The answer is no.
The Starland Ballroom?
Been there? I may have played it.
Okay.
That's as far I know of it.
I've been there twice. At least twice. Maybe not more than that. I saw Under Oath on their Hey We're Back tour. Not the Rebirth tour, which is the album that they released after they were back, but like the Hey We're Back and we're doing these two albums back to back kind of thing. I saw them there on that tour, and I saw Motion City on their farewell tour, which is now moot because they're back also. Yeah. But anyway, but also having seen Under Oath on their Hey We're Back tour, I also saw them on their farewell tour. But anyway, but those two shows were at Starland Ballroom, and I stood right up next to the sound booth.
Okay, like as far back as you could.
Well, there's farther back if you want to like go kind of out of like the main area, but everybody would like run into me and like all that. I'm like, what the like? Come on! If you're not running into me, you're going to be running into this barricade, like this box. Like, come on. So anyway, you got run into.
one of the times it makes sense. So there's from the stage or from the sound booth to the stage, they have to run cables. So they have like one of those little black and yellow things, right? And it's there. So that made sense. Yeah. People, you can't see it in the dark.
Yeah.
You're in a dark parking lot.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. The second time I'm standing there and there's this guy who's coming out of the pit straight towards me. There's no one in front of me. There's like 5 feet between me and him. And he runs straight into me because he was super drunk.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he like bumps into me, he's like on his, like not on his knees, but like leaning over with his hands on his knees, being like, I'm going to vomit. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't vomit right there. But yeah, so that was that. The first two bands, they're good, but they didn't sound good. And I was saying to
I'm trying to find their tour date, like where they were. Just because they just played, like a friend of mine just saw them, I think in Philly.
Coheed?
Yeah,
somewhere. They played Philly with Incubus, I believe. Like the night
so it wasn't
before.
Their show?
This was their show.
No. I know this was their show, but the show that, because a friend of mine posted, but like all they posted about was Coheed. So is that what it was? It
might have been the Incubus thing, unless the Incubus thing started the second day. So
no, it was definitely Incubus. It was Wells Fargo. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
So this is a Coheed show.
Because in my brain, I'm like, they just played like an arena show, and now they're playing XL Live. But that makes more sense that their show versus opening. Okay.
Yeah. Or main support.
It's kind of like how when I saw Hot Mulligan the day after they played in Madison Square Garden opening for Fall Out Boy.
Exactly.
So, life is all about balance.
So crap. I'm losing my train of thought.
Sorry.
The first two bands. One was Soul Glow and the other was Kinoshi or something. I forget what it is.
Sure.
Both like screaming heavy guitar riffs. They're both good, but I don't think they were good in that space.
Okay.
And I was saying like they would be better in the venue than outside of the venue.
Sure.
And sometimes like you couldn't hear the kick drum. So it's like the sound was just off.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't blame them. Like they're great. I just don't think that they were great there, and not because of them, but because of.
I think we've talked about this before with openers, especially. Like they get the least amount of time to sound check and all that stuff, and so like their mix is usually the worst.
Yes.
But But like, it shouldn't be. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can mix on the fly.
Yes.
If you're a decent sound engineer, and you assume that these places,
which I think at some point
either have their own person or whatever.
I did it. Yeah, mostly it's probably the house people, and the house people are like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect anybody, but like the first two bands didn't sound great. Then Coheed comes on, and this is probably the first time that I saw them when I was really paying attention, and I knew that they did, or even afterwards, I wasn't like, man, it was a bad show. Because I've probably mentioned this before. The first two times I saw them, the first time, small venue, like bigger than Stage on Her, but smaller than the Capitol Room. So like maybe
300 people, maybe
300 to 600, maybe. And they so Claudio, the lead singer, and then the original bass player both got piercings that day, like facial piercings. Claudio's guitar strap kept like coming off, so he wasn't singing all the time. And this is before you could, like, at some point a band can, like, I don't have to sing because everyone in the audience is singing.
Right.
They were main support at that point, so like they were not. Yeah. No one was singing along. So it's just like this isn't. I mean, they played good, but like not as good as they could have. It's like they need to start singing more. Yeah. And not doing anything. Then the second time, and I know I've mentioned this before, it was with Thursday and Thrice, and Coheed was opening, and Coheed's other guitar player wasn't there, which means it was just Claudio playing guitar, and the bass player and the drummer were playing board games on stage. So it's like that's not Coheed. Yeah. Coheed is not just Claudio with an acoustic guitar. So those are my first two times. And then you got Warped Tour, which I don't think is like, it's Warped Tour. Yeah. They have songs that are 8 minutes long. So you're playing like 3 or 4 songs. Yeah. So it's like not the greatest. And then I know that I saw them with the Deer Hunter, but I don't really remember Coheed. I think the only time I've seen them was on Warped Tour. Yeah. But this was really good, and I really love setlist.fm. Okay. Because you can kind of like look back and be like what did they play the day before, or like when was their last like headlining show? And it's like, okay, so I have a set list, so I kind of like understood. Like, oh, I don't really know that song. I don't really know that song. Oh, they're gonna play that. Awesome. They're gonna play that. Yeah. So I knew the set list, and I'm not like that guy who's like, oh, I want to be surprised. Apparently, because I've now joined a Coheed and Cambria Facebook group. Okay. Because there were posts like of the thing, like afterwards, like this just a group of people were taking photos, like, here we are at Coheed and Cambria. Yeah. Things that stuck out to me were Claudio doesn't talk to the audience. Okay. Travis is the other guitar player. He talked more. Josh Eppard is their drummer. He was talking more. Oh. And it's like, it's weird. Yeah. And then there was one song where I couldn't see where Claudio was because he must have been playing keyboards. I thought he was like in the pit, like oh, I'm going to interact with the audience. And then he appears at the back of the stage. It's like, oh, he might have been playing keyboards and singing like to the back of like, and it's like, that was weird. Yeah. But it was a good song. They played very well, and I'm looking forward to it. And apparently this was Adrian's second show there that they saw them. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because they were there a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. She couldn't remember either, but it's just like, oh, they've been here more often. Maybe I should go. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, why did I not go to that?
I didn't go last time. Why didn't I go last time? I think last time I could have gone, I just didn't go because I'm like I like Coheed enough. Yeah. I definitely like them enough that I should go see them when they're 12 minutes from my house. But I don't know why I didn't that last time. Maybe it was one of those things where it was like, this is the one night that I have. Yeah. And like, I like them enough, but I don't, not to give up my night or whatever, you know. And this past Friday, we had a football game, so I couldn't go, but I would have considered it more probably, especially because I knew I had friends going. Like, I knew you were going, I knew they were going. My friend Nate was there. I just assume I probably knew other people that were there. Yeah. So yeah, we're good.
Cool. So now, if I had a lot of money, right, if I was a pharmacist, perhaps, this weekend would have been at least 3. Well, I would say 3 shows, but I probably would have just done all 4 days. So Friday would have been Coheed and Cambria, and then Saturday, and I could have done this if I like, oh, I'm going to drive all day. Well, I don't think I probably would have flown. But so Punkin Drublic was in Boston.
Oh, yeah. You could drive to Boston. It's not that far.
But like leaving Friday night to get there on Saturday before like noon.
Sure. Yeah. Because it's an all-day deal.
Because it's an all-day festival. Yeah. But Suicide Machines played, so our friends were there, and I was
our friends, mine and your friends.
Yeah. I would say if you met Rich, like
I've not met Rich yet.
You've not met Rich, but
friend of the pod for sure.
Yeah, definitely friend of the pod, even listener. So I texted Rich and I texted Jay, and I was like, Rich, Jay's there. Did you know that? And he did not know that. But apparently, the time that I was texting him, he was on stage because then Jay was like, Suicide Machines are about to go on, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like okay. So then I texted Rich, and then Rich apparently came out and was like, hey, here's your all access pass.
Oh man.
So he got an all access pass, and then Rich took a picture of the other all access pass and be like, hey, I've got your all access pass. Where are you? And I'm like, and I was playing Catan. So I'm like, I'm stuck here in Catan settling.
Got to get some more wood, bro.
Oh my God. We have a new expansion of that game. Seafarers. And Alex won.
Nice.
The first time we played it, and I got maybe 3 points, and you play up to 13.
Yeah.
And both my wife and Alex were like 11, 13. Like they were getting up there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so then I would have been like there, and then I probably would have gone Sunday too, because it's just like, why not? And then Green Day. So like it had been 4 days of shows.
Yeah.
But really, what could have happened is if I was a rich pharmacist and I knew more people, I could have been like, "Hey, Coheed, can you just take me to Boston?" Because they played Boston on Friday or Saturday with Incubus.
Oh, okay.
But at that point, I'd be like, "Do I want to go see Incubus? Or do I want to go see?"
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, the all access. So my friend Jay, he was on stage.
Okay.
For NoFX, and he's just like, "This is really, really expensive," because he drove to Pittsburgh. Kept his car, like this is on Friday. He went to Pittsburgh. He flew to Boston, stayed in Boston, like rented a car, drove to where he needed to, and then flew back. And it's like, this is the most expensive trip I've ever taken to see a show.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it's worth every penny.
Well, and getting the free all access thing, I'm sure helps as well.
Yeah. So he was on stage.
That's cool.
For NoFX, and he's just like, dude, this is so cool. And I'm like, you should talk to, because we do know people in that world. Like
a little higher up the chain.
Yeah. Graber, he does all like this. He's the real guitar player for NoFX now. He's a producer and songwriter. So he was on stage. Like he's on stage with them playing all the ska riffs.
Okay.
So, because he's better apparently. And apparently he was in Goldfinger.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's actually true.
I
know he worked for him.
One of my new freshmen in one of my jazz bands.
Yeah.
So we were talking before about how we got new laptops and stuff.
Yeah.
And so my old laptop, like now the case and stuff like that, all the stickers and stuff I had, like that's just obsolete now. Like, but one of the stickers I had on there was I Heart Ska.
Yeah.
And one of my kids was like, he's a freshman. He's like, Mr. Brenner, you like ska? And I'm like, you like ska? Like, yes, I do, but you do?
I was there at the beginning.
Well, but he's like,
he's like,
and of course, this is the thing. Like my dad, he's like, my dad, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh cool. Like, who do you listen to? He's like, Goldfinger and Sublime, like that kind of stuff.
All the
and
90s.
Then, and then somebody else he said too. And I was like, oh, it's dope. And I was like, have you heard of Five Iron Frenzy? And he's like, no. I was like, check them out. I was like, have you heard of Catbite? I was like, they're like a new band. He's like, no. I'm like, check them out too. I said, no horns in that band, but like, check it out. And like that, it was just like right at the end of class, like all I could throw out. New band, old band, go away with that knowledge.
Should have said, we are the Union.
It's funny because then afterwards I'm like, we're the Union and this band and this thing, and like I'm just thinking of like all these different groups that I know, but it was just like those two popped out to me because I recently listened to Catbite again, and then just Five Iron Frenzy I've liked for like 30 years. So
yeah.
No,
that's super cool.
Yeah, but it's just funny, Mr. B, you like ska? I'm like, hang on a second. The real question is, do you like ska?
It's like I was there.
Yeah, I was there the third wave.
I was there in the third wave. The third age of ska.
Yeah.
when the Ring. Are you watching that?
No. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge
Lord of the Rings
person.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I'm not. I watch the movies each once.
Yeah. Not the extended editions?
No.
Oh my God. I was huge into them. I watched it.
I've never read the books. I'm never going to.
Yeah. Don't read the books.
Yeah.
Especially the second one.
Sure. So like, it's just not my world. But I was like, oh, TV shows. You know what I mean? Like, I like TV shows. Like, that's a word. Like, the fantasy stuff is things that I like and whatever. And then all I heard was how terrible that first season was.
Because you're hearing how terrible it is from fans of Lord of the Rings, the book, and the movies.
Yeah. And then also it was like, this is the most expensive show that's ever been made. And like, there's no way they're even going to get past. Like, just all this different stuff.
Doesn't matter. It's
I know.
It's Amazon.
And now there's a season 2. And people are like, this is great, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, and then they're, especially in light of the fact that like The Acolyte just got canceled from the Star Wars thing, and like probably other things getting canceled. Yeah. It's like, wait a second. You mean a show that had a first season that was like maybe like not truly loved, but like, you know, there's some good stuff in it, had a chance to make a second season and then like could expand and grow and be better? Amazing. And it's like, yeah, that's the problem like with this streaming stuff, like or just any of these things, is they do one season of something, don't give it a chance. Especially these big epic stories.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a one season like sitcom or like drama or whatever that there's not really much more, like, okay, you can see where that stuff kind of maybe doesn't go.
Yep.
But these like big expansive things, and like somebody brought up recently on a podcast I was listening to, they're like, somebody at Netflix must love Gerard Way, because how did Umbrella Academy get 4 seasons and like get a chance to actually tell their story and then stop their story? You know what I mean? Like on their own terms, because no one talks about that show. I like that show and those comics.
Alex just finished it.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't even gotten to, I don't even think I've seen season 3, and I definitely haven't seen the new season.
Okay.
I also don't have Netflix. I have to like use my friend's cousin's Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
So I try to do that sparingly. But it's like, how did this show that like, doesn't get much buzz, doesn't get much talk. So it must be that somebody in Netflix either just really loves Gerard Way or just like likes that show in general, which is great though. But like, you need people, you need sort of like patrons of these shows.
I want to point out one thing that's like super cool about that show. So Alex was watching like season 1, season 2, and I looked at the credits, and in season 2, it said Elliot
Page.
Yeah, which is like, oh, they went back and changed it.
Oh, okay.
Because they weren't Elliot at that point.
Yeah.
Like in real time. So it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah. That was something else I had seen recently too. A story. It was like a little news article about like, it's kind of cool that you get to see this person transition like in real time, and like everybody's just accepting of it and cool with it. And which is great. I just finished a book, like literally last night, finished this book called Carrie Kills a Man.
Okay.
And it's about Carrie Marshall is the author, and they're from Scotland, and they're like a news personality, but they're also a musician and a singer and a writer and all this different stuff. But it's about their life and their transition, and it's like a memoir basically. But so Carrie kills the man. The man was like who they previously were and stuff, and it's really interesting. And it's also interesting because they came out later in life, and so like just all that stuff, it's really well done, and every chapter is like a song lyric or a song title, because like music's a big thing for them. And it's real like short, kind of digestible, like 2, 3, maybe like 6 pages at most chapters, because it's all these like little self-contained ideas. Like, here's this thing and here's this thing, you know, but it all interconnects and whatever, because it's a memoir. But it was really, really interesting. It's from 404 Inc. is the publisher. And the reason I found out about them is they did a Kickstarter a few years ago of these, I forget what they're called. I'm going to look them up just so I get it right. Oh, Inklings. They're called Inklings.
Okay.
And Inklings are these like really short books that they have, and they were doing these Kickstarter things for them so that way they could get them backed, and now they're on their like 4th version of it. But anyway, it's a nice publisher, and they write these cool little books and different things, and then they had this one on there. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, I'll get that. And I have another book from them too. So it's kind of like reminds me of like how like you and I would go like, oh, Fat Records has a new thing out. I never heard of this band before, but like it's on Fat, so I should check it out, or it's on Tooth and Nail, so I'm going to check it out, kind of thing. So like I have certain publishers that are like that. I'm like, oh, this publisher's putting out a thing. I'm going to look into that and probably get it, you know, because they get good authors, you know, or like this label gets good bands or whatever, you know. So kind of cool.
Understood.
Yeah. But anyway, good book. Recommend it.
So we're here to talk about 2 tunes.
Yeah.
My tune. So I discovered this band through...
Did you never heard of them before?
No, I mean, I probably have.
I knew the name of the band, and I probably have heard some stuff.
So the band is the number 12, Looks Like You.
As opposed to our band that we are starting called You Look Like the Number 12. Hold for applause.
Yes. So the Wikipedia page kind of refers to them as mathcore screamo.
Sure.
But
sure, Jan.
Yeah. So the band was a band, right?
Huh?
For
9 years.
Do you know?
I have a Wikipedia page.
Okay, so for 9 years, and then they took a giant break. 6 years.
6 years.
6 years. Actually, it's not 9. I mean, it is, but
I mean,
they said they started
2001
in
to 2010.
Well, okay. And only 2 original members. So the lead singer and the guitar player, keyboard, backing vocalist. They at one point had a unclean singer. In the first run, they broke up, got 2 new a drummer and a new bass player. They recorded 1 album from them, and then like at just a couple months ago, those 2 left the band, and then they got 2 more. Okay. So it's like a rotating cast of bass players and drummers.
Do you know where their name comes from?
No, I don't.
I had to look it up. There's a Twilight Zone episode that's called Number 12 Looks Just Like You.
Okay.
And it is set in a dystopian future in which everyone, upon reaching adulthood, has their body surgically altered into one of a set of physically attractive models.
Kind of like, what is it? That would make sense. It's Battlestar Galactica. There were different models.
Okay.
Like, so our daughter is named after one of the characters, which was called Caprica, but it was like 6, the 6th model. And I think there are more models. There are 12.
And apparently there's female model number 12 and male model number 17 are very popular. So all adults wear name badges to avoid confusion.
Okay.
Because they all just look alike.
Gotcha. That's cool. I might watch that today if I have time. I probably don't, given that in about 5 hours I'm going to go see the Linda Lindas. So I listened to some of their earlier stuff, and it's like super screamy. It does not sound like this song at all. I dig this song, though. The song
did not grab me.
Is called Eyes on the Fireworks. Did you listen to the lyrics?
I mean, yeah.
But did you grasp what it's about?
No.
Okay, well, listen.
I didn't.
So here is Eyes on the Fireworks by the number 12 Looks Like You. Just a single. They might be working towards something else. Could be because I'm a guitar player. But I dig it versus you. Can't be taught to last. If we settle our differences fast. Now we're kids, learn to write and read and everything between. Get down, covered phrase. Put me between the sand and sky.
What's the song called again?
Eyes on the Fireworks. It's kind of like super political.
Yeah.
It's like, let's pull everything and let's take one bad thing and put it next to a quote unquote good thing because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it. It just doesn't.
It doesn't grab you.
Yeah,
which is fine. I like this part. And listening in these headphones always gives me a new perspective.
Yeah.
So that I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna call it like a hi-hat thing with it.
Yeah. So have you listened to more of their stuff? I know this is like a new single, but
some of the older stuff, but I can't.
But it's not the same.
It's not the same because so the vocals are clean here.
Yeah.
Where in the other ones it's very screamy.
Yeah. I think that's what I've heard of them before. Yeah. Was that and I like screamy stuff. I mean, generally speaking, but for whatever reason, theirs didn't. I probably have them on some old compilation, like from their first iteration as a band.
Yeah.
That's probably where I heard them.
They're from
Bergen County.
Yeah. Do you know? Are you familiar?
Cadets of Bergen County. Does that mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Cadets of Bergen County?
No.
The holy name Cadets.
Is it a baseball team?
No, it was a drum corps.
Oh.
One of the like old school ones that now no longer exists, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went through like many name changes.
Yeah.
Always would have like originally like the holy name Cadets, and then there was like something else, and then just, like at one point they were like Cadets of Bergen County. Just the Cadets now.
They're
also,
like
they don't exist.
Wait, actually is what man, I wish they had more interactive maps on because it's like right next to it's on the border
of
New York and New Jersey.
Yeah, well, it's in New Jersey.
Yes. So it's a little bit north-ish, northwest of New York City.
Okay.
And Long Island.
Long Island.
Close to Stanton. Yeah.
Cool.
I dig it.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
It's not about you, man. It's about me.
It's about the number 12.
It's about the number 12. Like at first when I heard the name, I was thinking of like you put your arm out and then like you put your leg out.
Yeah.
Like, you look like the number 12.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Is it like a scoliosis thing? Is it like I was really trying to like, I was in the shower this morning and I'm like doing like all these like weird like bend thing. I'm like, why is it? No, it's 12? Because you look like the female body model number 12 from Twilight Zone. Okay.
Yeah, which I'm going to watch.
Cool.
As I already said, because it's somewhere on the internet.
Yeah. Oh, back to Rings of Power. I think I might actually dive in. I need a show. I don't need a show, but I've been looking for a show to watch.
Have you ever seen Bones? Yeah, that one.
I'm not watching Bones. I've seen Bones. I'm not watching Bones.
Have you watched 911?
Yeah, I kind of like 911. It gets more ridiculous.
Okay, so
it kind of reminds me of like Grey's Anatomy, where like they just have to like up the ante every time.
Yeah, so
it's like there was a Sharknado actually that it was real. It happened.
Does that actually happen?
No, but like,
but imagine if it did.
Next week on 911.
Well, like I watched the first and second episode, and I didn't know anything. I've probably seen clips on TikTok.
Okay,
because they're like like those
the side by side,
where they're showing a scene and then they're showing like somebody makes something
because people don't have an attention span. Yeah,
they're like, I need to look at both things. Which one's more interesting?
Yeah.
So like I saw one where like this girl has like maggots in her head or something. I don't know. But we watched the first episode and I'm like there's so much drama immediately.
Yeah.
And we were trying to be like, if you like The Rookie, you'll like these. This is not like The Rookie at all.
No, The Rookie is more grounded.
And it's more fun as well because Nathan Fillion is fun.
Sure.
And all his shows, there's some sort of comedy to them. Not like it. Like,
did you watch Castle?
Yes,
I liked Castle.
I watched all.
Those books are good too.
There's books.
Yeah, they like the books that he writes in the show. They like made those books.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're good.
Cool.
They read like an episode of Castle.
Well, obviously, because that's the basis of it.
Yeah.
So we watched that, and I'm like, this is just like, oh my god, like this is it's Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
So much drama.
Yeah.
And then we also started to watch Bones, and then Bones is like, oh, this is totally early 2000s. Like the music is weird, and like
they've got a lot of like pizzicato strings when we want it to be cute.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'll start to pay attention to that now, just because like I'm in a class that's film music analysis. So it's like, watch this movie in this genre, and then like analyze this scene and like list everything that happens kind of musically and visually. So it's like, oh, well, they cut to here, and then they do this, and then they do this, and then like, oh, the strings did this, and then there's like, it builds up to a thing, and then it cuts, and so that's what I'm doing right now. The first week is horror films, and then I forget what next week is. It might be comedy or something like that. Yeah, but so I'm using Disturbia. Have you ever seen that movie? Like, I just watched it.
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf, which there's this point in it where he does something with his hands, and it reminds me of what's his name? That Fight Club, Tyler Durden.
Brad
Pitt. Like,
who's older than Tim Walz?
Is he really?
Yeah, by like 6 months.
Well, that's social studies for you.
That's the joke. There's the joke.
So anyways,
that's the meme.
So he's his visuals and like his mannerisms and the way he's speaking just remind me of Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Gotcha.
So just for like one scene, but then I'm like analyzing it, like, oh, this is a comedy cue, and you can hear the music of it. Like, oh, this is supposed to be comedy. Yeah. And it's like, oh, here's the love cue because it's like a romantic comedy in a way. And it's like, here's some horror cues. So like, it's an interesting film. Yeah. But also, I don't understand the murderer in it. Like, you know who it is the whole time, right? And like, he gets suspected of it, and then like so the kid is in the house and is seeing these things, and at that point,
isn't it like a Rear Window kind of?
Yes, it is 100%. Which it got sued for, and then they're like, well, the idea is there, but it's not enough to say that it's the same thing. Yeah. Because as soon as you see the premise, it's like, oh, it's Rear Window. Yeah. Which is a good movie too.
Great movie.
Which one? Because there were two.
What do you mean?
There's two Rear Windows.
Both by Hitchcock?
No, one by Hitchcock.
The Hitchcock one.
Yeah, I know. Jimmy Stewart.
He was like, wow.
Well, look, I broke my leg.
Yeah, I broke my leg.
There's another.
That's all. I can do like one word Jimmy Stewart thing, but anyway.
It's like every time an angel gets his wings, or every time a bell rings, an angel gets. What was the
every time you write parallel fifths, Spock kicks a puppy. Is that the phrase?
I don't know.
That's what I like to say. Every time you write parallel octaves, Spock kicks a puppy.
So, like, the kid's in the house and is seeing the dead bodies, and the killer is there, and then the cops are going to show up. And at that point, I just be like, all right, peace out. I'm done. Yeah. I'm time to move on. Because he already moved on once. And it's like, I just want to be left alone. It's like, to kill people, but you could have just left. They don't know who you are. Yeah. If you disappear, they don't know who you are. Yeah. Because they couldn't identify you from the first time you did it. So it's like, okay. Anyways, your turn.
My turn. So, Bo, here's a question for you. You're a recording guy.
I am a recording guy.
How long, typically, between recording a thing, mixing, mastering, all that stuff, and putting it out, would you say?
As fast as you want it to be.
But, like, what's typical?
There is no typical.
Sure there is.
There's not. Like, are you thinking, like, between releases? Is that what you're talking about? Or
no, I'm talking about, like,
to the time that it's released.
We go into the studio, we record the thing.
Okay.
When are we putting it out? Not just a song. Collection of songs. EP,
you could do it in
for instance. Week. Okay. I thought I was going to like blow your mind a little bit.
No,
okay.
No, because I could record something right now and put
no,
it out
I know,
tomorrow.
but I don't know. To me, I'm just thinking there's usually time. There's a month to obviously sometimes more. You know what I mean? Like,
so if you're thinking,
and it depends on how you're released. Like, are you doing the single release? You know, like we're releasing singles every few weeks to build up hype and blah blah blah. Like,
it all depends on your strategy.
Fair enough. I typically think that there is more time. Not even needed, but just more time typically taken.
And there's less time in jazz. Because they're not like, let's build the song. It's like, no, we're going to play the song and then it's done.
Yeah, which actually I just read. So I'm in 2 classes right now, but my one class is technology and music. And I just read this article about a very brief history of the use of technology in recording, like recording technology with jazz and stuff. And the one question I had to answer in my thing was like, what's something that kind of jumped out at you and maybe like surprised you or whatever? And the one thing was about how, well, there was 2 things. One was that the use of like overdubs and like cut-ins and like splices and stuff, which is more prevalent than I thought.
In jazz?
Oh, okay. Because you tend to think of like...
They do the take.
They just do the take, and then maybe they do a second one, and then like that's it. And in some cases, that is true.
When I'm thinking that time period, it's like probably the 60s.
60s, yeah.
70s probably added overdubs.
Well, and you get into fusion and other things, and then it becomes... Like they even reference, like there's a couple Miles Davis albums where like the editing was as much part of the music making as it was, you know, what they played in the studio kind of thing. But even they reference like in 1941, this one guy was like doing overdubs so he could play multiple parts, but he would like record one and put it on this acetate and then they'd run it over to this. Like it's even stuff that I don't even truly understand in the term. I understand it in the terms of a computer. Yeah. And you're essentially doing multi-track recording before that capability was available.
So before Les Paul.
Yeah. And they reference Les Paul as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, all of that to say that we are recording this on what? Monday, September 2nd?
Yes.
It was released on Friday, August 30th. And it was recorded on
August 25th.
Yes.
It'd be hilarious if it was 2023 and you're just
no, like, August 26th. So it was recorded on August 26th.
And released on the 30th?
And released on the 30th.
Cool.
Which is cool. I just thought that was pretty neat.
It is.
Because that doesn't happen, I don't think. Or it happened, not with bigger names.
Not with big names.
And these are 2 big names.
Yeah.
Kurt Elling we've had on the podcast before. And
are you friends with him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I know people who know him, like probably, but like even those people, I'm like, I don't like know you super well. Like my friend Peter from New York Voices, he probably knows him, but like Peter and I aren't hanging out either. I'm not that kind of friends. So anyway, so Kurt we've had on the podcast before, and then this is him and Sullivan Fortner, who's the piano player, and they recorded this EP of tunes. There's an article about it from WRTI where they kind of talk about it, but I just thought it was pretty neat.
When did the article come out?
The 30th, like the day it came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, hey, we recorded this.
So like this article is from Friday when the thing was released. It says, when Kurt Elling collaborated in the studio with pianist Sullivan Fortner this past Monday, the music was so captivating that it demanded an immediate share. Aided by engineer Chris Allen, Elling flipped the results into a Wildflower Volume 1, a 6-song surprise EP, which was recorded, mixed, mastered, and released to DSPs. Is that digital service providers?
That is correct.
Digital streaming, something, whatever, within a single work week.
Might be streaming.
Listeners are not likely to feel a rush, but rather a reward as this duo works through each of the tracks with careful, and they talk about like just kind of coming together. But it's just cool. They're all, since it's a jazz thing, covers.
They're standards
in a way.
Yeah,
not standards.
Not standards.
Almost. Well, one of them is, but I would say kind of more non-standard tunes. Like there's a Mumford and Sons tune.
Oh, okay.
This tune, Paper Doll, I'll talk about in a second. There is a Duke Ellington chart, but it's like more typically a big band thing, and they did like a vocalese, like wrote lyrics and stuff to it. There's another thing by Fred Hirsch, who's a great piano player, and with lyrics by Norma Winstone, who's a great singer. So like it's a lot of like non-conventional things, you know what I mean? It's not just standards. It's not like they like walked up and like, oh, let's do All of Me and this one and that one, like all those kind of Autumn Leaves and whatever. Like no, they kind of they thought about these tunes and had clearly worked on them in some capacity and whatever, but it was like, nope, we just walked in and just recorded it. So it's just the two of them other than one song. The singer Cecile McLaurin-Salvant also sings on the one tune. But yeah, so it's just a thing, like maybe they'll do more, maybe they won't. I think it depends on like if they get a chance to kind of thing. So I don't know really what they were setting out to do. Obviously setting out to record, but like why they just chose to like put it out and like, here's the thing, and then we're moving on. That's what I don't know. Do you know, like, are they going on tour? Are they going to do a full album? Are they going to do a volume 2?
If you put volume 1, you got to do volume 2.
Sure. Yeah. And maybe that's also just putting like pressure on themselves to do a volume 2 or do this again. I don't know.
It could be like, hey, we're going to go in and record all these songs. And they're like, hey, we've got these done. Let's put it out as this.
Yeah.
So like maybe volume 2 is just like the other stuff that they didn't get finished.
Yeah. And then they dropped the Mumford & Sons cover like during the week. So like it all just happened like really quick. Which is kind of cool. Oh, one of the tunes is a Wayne Shorter song as well.
Okay.
Great sax player. So this tune, Paper Doll, was a hit song for the Mills Brothers. Have you heard of the Mills Brothers? No. They were a vocal group in like the 40s. And they were very popular and stuff. But the tune itself was written in 1915, although not published until apparently 1930 by Johnny S. Black, who's just a songwriter guy. And the apparently was inspired to write the song after he was jilted by a girlfriend. And somebody else said that I guess the songwriter was also a piano player, and he also was a boxer on the side to like make some money. And his girlfriend ran off with another boxer, and then he wrote this song. So
okay, speaking of boxers,
yeah,
this is off topic.
Okay,
but it reminds me. So I saw a meme of
a meme. This is our segment. Bo explains a meme.
I don't know. Well, yes. So memes are copied.
I'm going to tell you a funny story about that then.
Okay, so it's like a seating chart for Wembley Stadium.
Sure.
And you know, like when they do that, they show you like where the stage is, right?
Yep.
So this is the stage for Oasis.
Okay.
So like think of one side, like the end, like think of like a football stadium. The one side is like Liam's stage.
Yeah.
And then the other side is Noel's stage. And then there's a walkway to a center stage. And then it says boxing ring.
That's funny.
Yes.
I saw a thing where it was like, if I'm not able to get tickets to this, I'm going to make them start fighting again and then ruin this for everybody or something. Also, hashtag get Patrick to Oasis. Have you seen that? Because Patrick H. Willems tried to get tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And he couldn't get tickets.
Yeah. And then he wasn't going to pay $400 for the Dublin show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now he has hashtag get Patrick to Oasis.
Yeah. But I want to go. I don't think I'm going to get tickets. I think it's going to be like,
I don't care.
No, I want to go see Oasis.
Sure.
I'm at this point where, the other meme is like, they're like, it's a Ticketmaster thing. And it's like, we're sorry to inform you, but Oasis has broken up while you were in the queue.
That's funny. Did you see the thing where it was like, somebody was like, oh, if you hit Alt 4 or something, it'll move you up the queue faster. And somebody's like, they closed the window.
If you hit Command W.
Yeah.
That's on a Mac.
All right. Anyway, here's Paper Doll, Kurt Elling, Sullivan Fortner.
I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own.
A week ago they recorded this. I still think that's kind of crazy.
That other fellow
it's awesome.
Yeah. Again, I know that the technology exists. I'm just thinking more in terms of marketing and everything else. But
with their flirty eyes, we'll have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, she will be waiting. She'll be the truest doll in all this world.
I think I'm going to play this for my students too, to talk about like swing feel and stuff. And like this sucker swings.
Yeah.
But there's not, there's no drums, obviously, there's no bass or anything, but like between Kurt's inflection and different stuff and little things that Sullivan does, like really makes it swing pretty hard.
Like I can hear the drums,
right?
Even though they're not there.
Yeah.
And I kind of like in my mind I hear I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, that
brushes, just brushes.
It's brushes, but I'm like there has to be
Swish,
like
but stirring the soup.
Yeah, stirring the soup.
Yeah. That's nice. Just kind of comes out of nowhere too.
I'm just laughing that you did because you would do that at a jazz club.
I would do that when I did it in the car when I was listening to this the first time probably.
It would change.
I've had a
little stride piano. Do a stride piano. Grab the bass and then grab the chords. Boom.
And I guess I've played the dog game over and over. I just quarreled with Sue. Ooh, that's why I'm blue. She's gone away and left me just like all dolls do. I tell you boys, it's tough to
I missed that
be
show.
alone. And it's tough to love a doll that's not.
What'd you say you miss?
I missed the joke that you laughed at.
Oh, I wasn't even a joke. It was just like that like that fill that he did.
Yeah.
It just was so good. Like that was just the reaction that came out of me.
Yeah. What you gonna do? I'm going to buy me a paper doll that I can call my own. A doll that other fellas cannot steal.
This is also cool too, because like, and even like the rest of the album is like a little different than this. Like the Ellington tune, which I guess technically is like a Mercer Ellington tune, which is Duke's son. It's a swinger. But everything else for the most part is like more ballad style and whatever, which I think Kurt's known he can do kind of all of it, but I feel like he doesn't swing as much. You know what I mean? Like he's got more like introspective stuff or more ballady stuff or even more like rock or pop leaning things.
Yeah.
To call my own, then have a fickle-minded real life girl. Don't want me a fickle-minded real life girl.
Yeah. Sullivan Fortner is so good.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good. I've heard him mostly with like other folks and stuff, like, but man, he's such a good piano player.
Are you going to go see Kurt Elling in concert in April?
Where?
In Baltimore.
No, but I could.
April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I could go to one of those.
I'm not going to say go to all three.
Well, I'm just saying
it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I'm conducting a district jazz festival actually that weekend. So I don't know exactly what my schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe. I have seen him before. I saw him in DC at the Kennedy Center on not the big room, but like one of the smaller rooms. But it was the tour he did celebrating the John Coltrane, Johnny Hartman album. I think I talked about this before because I played something from that album. And that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good show. Yeah, it was great. I thought the novelty of the fact that like this is a week old was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
I dig and understand why you're excited that it took 4 days to from record to release.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's piano and vocal. It's not overly complicated.
Yeah.
And like we kind of said, we both sort of have that conception that jazz is just you do it once, you just do it top to bottom.
Yep.
And like, to be fair, the thing that most, like in this article too, they were talking about like mostly what they would splice in or whatever, replace is maybe a solo
Yeah.
Or a portion of a solo or something. And probably some other stuff too, but like you're not making like massive edits.
Yeah.
Unless that's kind of, again, what you're specifically going for. So, yeah.
It's very cool.
It's cool.
I dig it. I want to listen to the Mumford and Song. And is Nature Boy on this, or is that a different album?
That's a different album.
Okay.
It was an old album.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it because it's my favorite
jazz tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Standard, because it's like messed up and it doesn't make sense. And it's like, cool.
Have I played you the one by the Real Group?
Nope.
Ooh, so that's a really pretty one.
Anyways.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for hanging out and listening to us talk. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. We'd appreciate if this grew.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.